Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, it's about who should you summon for from the current patch and the upcoming patch, the Wishstone banner. So this video here today, as usual, I'm gonna go through every single Esper, like what kind of Esper should you get with your Wishstone. So this time is pretty unique as well, because the upcoming banner, the upcoming patch, that's every week they will switch the banner. Alright, so I'll go through one by one, and then I'll let you know what kind of Esper should you focus on. But so this one here will not be going through the R0, because usually when we want to use the Wishstone banner is because we are able to get this offer, the discount here. So if you're talking about like if should I get that Esper, that one should be the topic of should you get it from the wish pool selection banner, because every single R0 you're able to get it from here. Okay, so let's start. Okay, Artiar, the Pew Pew boy. So I already made a lot of video about him, and I do agree that he is being strong in PvE and PvP as well, both situations, but it depends on the reso as well. So R2 will be the king of wave. This is undebatable. This is for sure already. So if you want to be a solid wave clear content in the future, wave clear content as in so far all the event trials, the one that we have in the banner here, all the trials content are wave content. They didn't change it at all. They only changed like what kind of Esper is inside the content. So if you really want to be secure with your what's that called, the event trial ranking, if you want to get like top 1 or top 3 ranking, Artiar R2 is the minimum to hold it. The higher the reso, the better it is, the performance, because he will make everything more smooth. But I would recommend you to get at least R2, because with this Wishstone offer, you only use 140 Wishstone instead of 200 Wishstone to get his R2. I would say it's a very high value to actually get it, because it's very future proof. Any kind of HP content, any kind of wave content, Artiar will benefit you totally. So I would highly recommend you to get R2 minimum if you are able to. And the upcoming patch, we have no new Esper from the Wish banner, so I think it's a pretty good time to spend your Wishstone to get the Esper that you like. So I would recommend you to get R2 Artiar minimum. Then R4 and R6 effect, which is getting more divine help stack and also more pew pew, and also apply the disease. This one is more towards PvP. Of course, it will benefit you in your PvE content as well. But I would say PvE, the best place to stop for Artiar is here. Then these two here is for PvP. So if you're going for PvP, it's just R4 or R6. Pretty much that's it. It's either R4 or R6. You want to stop at R4 is fine, you want to stop at R6 is fine. But I would highly recommend you to get at least R2 for Artiar. Okay, the next one here, Leora, nothing too much to say. Leora here is just a skip. You don't really need resonance on Leora unless in the future they did something to her, or else I would say it's a skip for Leora. Then TA here, I would say if you are at R5 and you only need 1 copy to R6, then get her to R6. If you are R1, then get her 1 copy to R2, because the R2 effect is pretty massive, the AP push here. Nothing too high priority, but it does help you in, like for Seto Fantasy, this kind of bossing content. It will be a very consistent AP push and for your team, and AP down for the enemy. Okay, then the next one here, the high debate, which is should I get Jinchu or should I get Artiar? So as I already said earlier, Artiar you should get an R2 minimum, but Jinchu here is a different situation. So Jinchu R0 is already doable in Andras, because if some player use Jinchu as a main DPS on Andras, then some player is afraid that Jinchu is going to be out of meta now, because we have Artiar here. I can pretty confirm that I'm going to tell you that Jinchu will never be out of meta. It's either that he's on top of the meta or in the meta, because the fact that he is one of the few true Esper in the game now. Because in terms of true Esper, is the only Esper that can counter Wuyu team, which is the meta since Wuyu came out. Right, then true damage Esper character in the game now, there's only 3. One is from Sujia's passive, one is from Momo, which is actually the Shimmer Esper, but in disguise in flow type, that is inside the championship, that is limited within the championship. So if you already missed the championship this time and you're not planning to use your in real life money to buy Momo Ripple in a plaza that is very expensive for me, then I would say your best bet is actually Jinchu. Okay, but Jinchu here needs to be high reso to be playable in PvP. So PvP, the minimum range for you to get is R2. This one is the combo for Jinchu Mavis toxic combo. As long as you don't face Petros, you are it's still a pretty solid team to play around because you don't see Petros everywhere. Alright, maybe you will get countered by Artiar, by all those things, but if you use them in defense, you have the possibility to get countered, but it is still fine because the kit that he able to provide, the true damage, is too unique. He is one of the few Esper who have true damage now. Right, so for my recommendation, if you are just using Jinchu for PvE such as Andras, then R0 is totally fine, which is the free one that you're able to get from the event. For new player, I believe you have R0 Jinchu for free, right? When you open a new account. Then for old player, if you wanted Jinchu to play in PvP, R2 is the minimum to play Jinchu plus Mavis combo. But if you want Jinchu to be a standalone Esper that is not tied with the Mavis combo, R6 is the minimum. So what makes Jinchu so strong or so unique, have to push until R6, is the Intimidate buff, the one that can keep refreshing the shield. It will forever with Jinchu in the start of combat until Jinchu die. So Intimidate buff is no longer needed to refresh with S2 because the Intimidate buff will always with Jinchu, and as long as he have Intimidate, which is forever, so he won't get stun and won't get sleep. So stun and sleep is a very strong debuff in most of the cases, and with this R6 effect actually counters a lot of things. So my recommendation, Jinchu PvE R0, PvP R2 is for Mavis combo, R6 is for the real meta. Okay, so I don't think Jinchu is gonna be out of meta just because Artiar appear in the game. So let me show you one of the showcase that I have from the record here. So I did some attack on Rawson here. Okay, Rawson X Jinchu, right? So what I did is, this is his team. So he used Jinchu plus Mavis combo, plus Chu Yao to protect Jinchu, plus Sujie to provide more true damage to the team here. I actually lost 2 times because I wanted to do some showcase for you guys. So I would say that Jinchu is still not out of meta, and if Jinchu is strong enough, solid enough, you are actually able to kill the Wu Yu team, because this is the typical Wu Yu team I'm using, the one that with Chu Yao Momo here, and this Jinchu actually soloed my team in the end, because this Jinchu has Spirit Aegis buff, a lot of protection, Sujie provide true damage, Jinchu is true damage, and then Feng Shun here provide more buff, maybe it's here to protect the whole team. So I would say it's still a very solid Esper, but it's a high investment Esper because you need to be R6. Look at the damage. It instantly killed my lane. Alright, so this is my comment on Jinchu. So more PvP focus, I would recommend going for Jinchu R6. But for PvE situation, I would recommend you for more Artiar situation. Alright, then the next one. Okay, so this is the next one. So you can see here the featured here. There's a timer here, so they will rotate per week. Okay, so if you want like Embla and Fushi, you have to wait it for the second week. So there will be 3 badges. The first 2 is Feng Shun and Nora, then after that will be Embla and Fushi, then the last one will be Gaius and Jin Yu Yao. So it will be a few badges, so I'll go through first. So Feng Shun, if you have already R0 Feng Shun, this is your best opportunity to get him to R2. So R2 effect is one of the most important reso for Feng Shun, because it gives the AP push and all the random bonus will instantly apply instead of 1 by 1 randomly applied. This one, from the effect here, the S3 here, this one, at first it's usually, it will randomly give you one kind of buff, but for R2 effect, it will instantly apply all kind of random bonus, which is attack up, speed up, and crit damage up, and AP push. This is very important. This AP push is almost universal to able to use in almost all content. So R2 Feng Shun is very high priority as well, as high priority as Artiar. But because Artiar is new Esper, so yeah, you know, so I would say King of Wave if Armir and Feng Shun, if I have to compare, it's a very tough debate. But in terms of universal utility, I would say Feng Shun have the higher priority. But if you want to prioritize in your wave content, I would still say Armir R2 is still holding the higher priority. Then the next one, Nora here, my recommend is skip. Right? Don't even bother. Nora doesn't need the rezo because she doesn't exile in most of the content. Like even in Andras, she doesn't shine that much. Even like her kit is kind of made for Andras because it won't crit. But yeah, but it's just not good unless they buff her. Okay, then the next one is Embla. So Embla, one of the best DPS since Embla release. Until now, she's still one of the best DPS in terms of PvP and PvE as well. But PvP, you're gonna need Fushi to enable her for PvP content. Right, so Embla, I would say dump all your Wishstone on her if you are a player that really cares about PvE content. Then dump all your Wishstone to Embla. So at least get her to R2. This is the minimum to get the Corrupted Seed able to AoE. Then if you have enough Wishstone, pump her to R6 because the stack requirement reduced to 5. This is a very massive buff. So my recommendation, if you care about PvE, you want to get high score in PvE content, Embla R6, go all in. I don't see in the future there's any kind of Esper that can out DPS Embla in any other way because of Embla's kit. Okay, then Fushi. Fushi here is really situational. I would say R0 Fushi is totally playable already, and it is able to enable Embla to be in PvP content already. But Fushi, you need Divinity 3 above. This is the minimum. Okay. Then resonance wise, R2 doesn't really matter too much. R4 doesn't really matter too much. And R6 is where Fushi become a single handle DPS that doesn't need Embla. Like in RTA situation, you kind of want I mean like in beat bout, this kind of nuke situation, you kind of want Fushi to be R6 to apply the debuff on the enemy first. So I would say that Fushi is too high investment for the current meta. Like you have to go to R6 to make it available. So I won't recommend you to go for Fushi R6 unless you are really a lot of Wishstone, you don't know where to spend. Then I would recommend you for Fushi. But or else I would say all in for Embla. Even in PvE, Fushi isn't needed, but Embla is needed. In PvP, Fushi needs Embla to be better. So in my opinion, do not invest too much Wishstone on Fushi unless your Embla is already maxed, your Feng Shun is already R2, your army already R2, your Jinchu is already R6, then you can go for Fushi. So Fushi's priority won't be that high. Then the next one we're gonna have from the last week is gonna be Gaius. So Gaius here, in my opinion, I won't throw any Wishstone on him. R0 is totally playable already. R2 here, all this thing, and the R6, another Thunder Lightning doesn't matter too much in my opinion. Then Jinyu Yao here is pretty tricky. Okay, so Jinyu Yao R0 technically is playable. R2, it does help a bit of the AP push, not really too important. But the R6 here is pretty massive in terms of PvP content. When an ally inflicted with stun, the ability cooldown for this S3 reduced. So it does help in PvP, but in terms of priority, I won't say it's that high unless the other Esper like Armir, Jinchu, Feng Shun is already, and Embla is already max until the rezo that I mentioned, then you can focus on Jinyu Yao. Or else I won't say it's that high priority in my opinion. And Jinyu Yao is kind of like an old Esper already. And it does still helpful, it still be an annoying Esper in PvP, but it won't be that high priority. So TLDR, in my own opinion, if I have to recommend the 4 Esper in my priority, I would say it's Armir, Jinchu, Feng Shun, and Embla. This is the 4 Esper you should be focusing on their rezo first. Then in terms of PvE or PvP, then it depends on my analyze that you think which part should you go for. Like PvE, then Armir have the higher priority. If PvP, then Jinchu will have the higher priority. If Universal, Feng Shun will have a higher priority. Then PvE bossing content, Embla will be the higher priority. So it really depends on what content you want, how many Wishstone you have, and what kind of as what you want to invest in. Okay, so this is my own opinion. Yeah, the next patch is actually a good patch for us to save the Wishstone, because that's Slon is only able to get from the summer patch. And I think everyone is able to get one copy of a minimum, because this event lasts for 40 days, and it seems like there's more ways to get the token soon. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this video actually helped you guys out who to use summon for, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JenMP, Rosas15, Molkut Regally, The Bluest Chalane, Pidgeot Roulette, and Kemi, thank you so much for the support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Choni, Von Hexa, Luxley, Rawson Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, and Uncle Chat. Thank you so much for the support. And that's not all. Also, special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat, the latest 10. So special thanks to Pigeons Roulette, Agni, Ziggy, Code Wilderness, Choni, and Rosas15. Thank you so much for the support, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.